Okay, today we're going to talk about installing this TowPro Liberty trailer brake controller on this 2025 Nissan Frontier Pro 4X. So let's take a look. Okay, so on the Nissan Frontier, as of the making of this video, they do not offer a trailer brake controller. And see, I needed to pull that camper there, and so in the Pro 4X and all the Frontiers, you've got these buttons over here, but in the Pro 4X, you've got some additional buttons, the rear locker, and a few other things. So what we're going to do is we're going to install it in one of these. Now, some people rearrange these when they take this off, but I'm not going to do that. I think my trailer brake controller is going to be used a lot more than my rear differential locker or my heel descent or anything like that. So I'm probably going to put it here or here, probably right here. So let's go take a look at the product. This job, obviously, you're going to need the brake controller by Redarc. There's a couple of versions of this. You're going to need the wiring harness adapter for your particular vehicle. This is a Nissan. And if you'd like, you're going to need the universal mount. This is sold separately. I do recommend this, but you don't have to have this, and you'll see when you get into the video. You will need a Phillips head screwdriver, something to cut the zip ties, and this is going to come in handy. This is a trim removal tool, but you could use a flathead screwdriver if you don't have that. All right, so I got this from Z1 Off-Road. They make a couple of different versions of this. This is the TowPro Liberty. So you kind of have to buy a few items to make this work. So you have to buy the trailer brake controller itself, which there's your cover box there. This is actually mounted where you can't see it. The only thing you see is this little knob right there, and that is going to go into the blank switch device that I showed you. And you need a harness that is specific to your vehicle. This is specific to the Nissan vehicle. And you can either modify one of the blank switch plates, or you can use this switch insert that Redarc and Z1 Off-Road sells, which there's a different story on that. I'll tell you that in a minute. And when you get it from Z1 Off-Road, of course, you get some stickers, as you should. And they gave me $130 off some meat and some more food stuff here, and advertising Toyota, which we don't have, some performance parts for there. So we'll disregard this stuff and only focus on this stuff. Right, another thing I want to say about this trailer brake controller, this is better than the old knee knocker ones that go under your dash and hit your knees like this. I got this on clearance at 15 bucks in case I ever need it, but I'm not going to use this on the Frontier since it's a new vehicle. Another good thing about this Redarc controller is the universality of it. This thing, there's two versions of this. The one that I got works in both electric and electric hydraulic brake systems. There's another version of this that only works on the electric, which is what most people need, but I went ahead and got the other one because it's not too much more expensive. So, and throughout the owner's manual, it tells you how to hook it up, and it also tells you about how to use it and about an additional accessory. I did buy this, although you do not need really this installation accessory, because in the instructions it gives you instructions on how to mount it just to any flat panel surface. The very first thing we're going to do in this installation is we have to access the wiring harness under the dash where this thing plugs into. So I'm going to show you that. One quick note, this harness says it only fits up to a 2019 Frontier, but I have verified with Z1 Off-Road that it is the same all the way up through 2026. Okay, let me remove these floor mats here. Okay, from what I understand is the pigtail that we're looking for is way underneath here. So we're going to remove this plastic piece here, this kick panel, and this floorboard piece here. And it looks like everything is clips except for this one Phillips head screw that's right here. So we're going to do that. Oh, and if you're worried about airbags or anything, I would suggest that you unhook the battery first before you try any of this. All right, got that done. First thing I'm going to do is pop this out. All right, then I'm going to pull this. I think this just pops out too. First, take this piece off. This piece goes right there. Okay. where are we hooked into? Right here on the bottom. Okay. Okay, got these two pieces out. That only took a minute, and now we're going to go ahead and pull these down. I'm going to be careful about this hood latch. I'm not sure about that. Oh, we have to move this. You got to be careful with this piece of rubber here because it overlaps this bezel here. And really, it just pulls out. I just yanked on it, and that pulled out. Let's try this. You see? Be careful right here. Since this is fairly new plastic, you don't have to worry about the brittleness of it like you do old vehicles, which is what I'm used to. All right, so now this just hangs down, and now I have full access. What I'm looking for is a piece under here. That might be it right there. Huh. Interesting. Look at that little speaker right there. All right. Let me assess the situation. Okay, so you have a white plug there. That is not it, I believe. I believe the plug that I need is this one right here that is taped. It's hard to focus on that, but anyhow, this particular plug, I believe, is for like a 12-volt accessory. If you want to add on the dealerships sometimes add on an illuminated floor steel plate, which would plug into that. I think there's another one on the other side, but what we're looking for is that white plug way up there that's taped up. So I'm going to cut that piece of tape and grab that. Okay, so I think that's our bad boy right there. Let's take a look. All right, let's try to plug this thing in. It should be pretty easy. Whoops, I'm gonna make up. Where'd it go? Right there. Okay, that just snaps in, and your other end needs to go to your control box. So we got to figure out under here where we're going to put that thing. Okay, before I figure out where I'm going to mount the control box, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this top row of switches and get my switch installed. This just takes a couple of Phillips head screws here, and then this should pop right out. Okay, this should pop right out. Oh, it's got one more screw right here. Okay, now this comes out. Okay, so my plan is to put it in this one right here. So it looks like you basically take a little screwdriver and this little plastic piece will pop out. Okay, what I think I'm going to do is go ahead and unhook these. You just pinch the back right here and go ahead and remove this plate so I can get a better look at it. Okay, let's go take this to the workbench. Okay, this is the one I want to remove. We'll put a little screwdriver right here. Okay, once you hold these up, just stick your finger and push it and it'll come right out. Now you can modify this, but I chose to go the easier route and just buy this little $15 adapter. Now this adapter comes with your little bezel here. It also comes with this little template and foam backing, and it kind of shows on here what to do with it and cut out. Well, we don't need to do that because from what Z1 Off-Road is telling me, this thing should pop right in, right there. Okay, we got our knob there. And we've got these two little items here. Okay, a quick note. So this comes with the controller. You've got the knob, the nut, and the bezel. And the directions that come with the controller say use this bezel as optional. I think that just is there to cover up a rough surface after you drilled it. So I may not use that because if I look at the instructions that come with this unit, it does not show that. So pretty simple. We just take this here and we're going to go ahead and get the switch. Where's the switch? Right here. And be careful on the switch. You'll see a little piece that sticks out there, a little glass piece. That's an indicator light, and it goes through that hole right there. So it should look like this, and then we just put our little nut on it, and that's what it should like there. This is a 12 millimeter. I do recommend slightly tighten it. Do not go bananas with that. We do not want to break that. So that's all we need there. And the little cable that comes with it, you have one that goes at a right angle and one that does not. I'm going to wait till I get it in there to see which side I want to use. Let's see if this will pop in. Oh, one quick note, make sure the knob is turned all the way to the left before you put this on, because you want to make sure that your numbers line up correctly. So if you turn it all the way to the left and pop your cap on there, it should be at 0, which is what you want. Then this new unit should just pop in there and snap in. Actually, before I do that, I think I may need to hook this back up. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So before I put that in, I'm going to go ahead and put this back on. Okay, now that I got the 3 screws back in, one right there, one right here, and one right here, we're going to pop this in. Wow, that was easy. Just snaps right in. Next thing you do is just hook this Ethernet looking cable up. So that part of the install is complete. Now we got to figure out where to install the main box. It's real tempting to mount it on top of that flat surface right there, but that's actually the airbag. So I'm going to stay away from that and try to mount it either up there or on this kick panel somewhere. Okay, I just snapped this left side in so I could get it behind this. I have not snapped the whole thing in yet because I want to see where I can mount this. I'm hoping to mount this underneath here somewhere. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and plug this in and this in. Now that everything's plugged in, I think I'll have a better idea where I can put this thing. Okay, I taped some of this foam to keep this thing from rattling. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to zip tie it to that. That seems to be the best place right there. Okay, this is what it looks like zip tied to that device there. Remember, I put that little piece of foam in there to keep it from rattling. It was kind of a pain. Now I'll just zip tie these wires back up and we should be done. Okay, I believe I got all these out of the way. Make sure that nothing interferes with your brake there, right here, or any brakes or anything else. And put the kick panel back on. Okay, this is it all buttoned up. Got all the plastics back together, and that's what it looks like. Looks like a factory install, not the knee knockers that go underneath there. So we're going to test it in a second. Okay, I quickly hooked it up to my ePro, and we'll see. As you can see, it does now have a light illuminating here. So we are getting connection back to the camper. So I'm going to start it up. So it seems to be connecting and everything. There is a calibration process that we have to do for this, and I will have to do this at a later date. And I'll do a separate video on that. Okay, that's about it. Installation of this Tow Pro Liberty by Redarc on that Nissan Frontier. And I do have to calibrate it, and I'll make a separate video on that. So hopefully this helped. You'll have a great day.